Right, I've got a confession to make. I am absolutely obsessed with magic at the minute. Like, it is consuming all of my time, all of my thoughts. And that's pretty funny, but also, like, I'm buying all of this magic, but I'm really not spending the time to learn any of the magic. And I really want to learn the magic. So I just wanted to come on and like talk about, why are we buying all of these tricks and not learning them or performing them? I've got a rough idea about why I don't perform them. But I think the other thing I want to talk about is like community in magic. So I've been watching shitloads of magic content. And I keep seeing this theme of like, you know, you find your people, or the magic people or the community is so great, but I can't find this community. And it's so weird. Like, this is the only hobby that I've taken up where a community is really hard to find. So I've decided to make a YouTube channel as a nearly 40-year-old man, in hopes that I can start to learn some of the magic that I've bought, but also I can find some people to like practice and perform with. Like, I hear a lot about magic jam sessions, and I don't think I've seen a single one of them in any of the Discords that I'm in. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the stuff that I've bought anyway, because I've spent an absolute fucking fortune. And this isn't even half. Like, I have got a serious problem, and it's cost me a fucking fortune. So as you can see, I've went a little bit wild with buying magic tricks. And this is like basically happened over the space of about a year. So I used to be really into magic when I was a kid. I got a David Blaine video, I think it was, for Christmas one year when I was a kid. And I really fell in love with the whole idea of magic, the art of it, the deception, like the learning, the routines and all that stuff. But I couldn't really afford much as a kid because I was from a poor council estate. We didn't have much money, but I loved it. And I used to go to school and I would do tricks for my friends, like me and my best friend. We used to buy different card tricks and all of that stuff. And then I fell out of love with it when I was about 16. So fast forward to when I was 38, which was last year. We were watching Britain's Got Talent, and my daughter was like, I think she's seen like Shin Lim, somebody like that who was on Britain's Got Talent, and she was like absolutely blown away by it. And I dropped into the conversation like, oh, I used to be a magician. And she was like, oh, did you? Can you show us a trick? So anyway, I ended up buying a few tricks, like a thumb tip and the basic stuff. And then it is just absolutely spiraled out of control since then. So I've just become really obsessed with it again. It's like consuming all of my thoughts. Like I said, like I'm spending every available minute just consuming content and buying magic tricks. But I've fell into this really bad habit, which I'm sure many of us do, is that we're buying the tricks but not actually learning them or performing them. So I probably have got like over 100 different tricks now, and I've probably learned like 5 or 6 of them. And I think the best way to describe it is like almost analysis paralysis. Like I've got so much that I don't know where to start now, And when I do start, I'm so afraid of like ballsing it up that it puts me off even learning in the first place, which is like such a weird concept, because I remember being a kid and being so confident and like, just, you know, not having that confidence to go and perform. And even if you messed it up, it doesn't really matter. But I don't know why now these days, like as an adult, maybe it's just because I've got kids. I don't really go out much anymore. I don't drink. I stopped drinking a few years ago. So I'm never really in settings where I could perform to people. And then also like a few years ago, I was diagnosed with autism. So this video is partly inspired by Sean Coleman, who posted about his diagnosis and being a magician with autism and like all of the things. And that really resonated with me. And also the interview that he did with the, what's he called? The underperforming hobbyist, Fred. I've been watching all his content, and that sort of inspired me creating this channel to hopefully sort of get to know some of these people and also find that community. So really like what I want to try and do with this channel is to start to perform some of the tricks, even if it's just like on video, and get to learn some of the stuff and stop buying so many different tricks. Like I don't need them. But I love looking at them. I love playing with them. I love learning the secrets. But I don't want to be a collector of magic. I actually want to be able to get back into that comfortable space of performing magic and feeling more confident about doing it. And I think the only way that I can do that is to put myself out there and hopefully find this community. So I said at the start of the video that finding community has been difficult for me. Now I appreciate that magic is like it's about secrets, so there has to be some level of like lock on the door, I suppose. So I actually signed up to Lloyd Barnes's like fourth floor Patreon, and that gave me access to a Discord, because I was trying to join all of these magic groups on Facebook and I was getting declined. I couldn't seem to get in anywhere, so I paid for Lloyd's subscription just to get access to the community. So I have posted a few times in that community, and it's like I posted about this actually, about like how do you find the community, and a few people responded at the time. I got like one DM from one guy, and but it's quite quiet there as well. And Lloyd's got one of the most active communities, I would say. I was pointed in Magic Alon's community and Murphy's Magic, a few other ones, and they all seem to be really quiet. And I think what I need, like being this 40-year-old man, quite socially awkward sometimes, really scared to perform, is that like actual community, or like people to have like a regular thing. Like I know I mentioned earlier about having potentially like a, what's it called, a magic jam. I would probably shut myself and not turn up to one of those anyway, but I would love to sit in and listen and not necessarily contribute myself. So, but it all seems really quiet, and it's a shame, because I watch these other videos and I see these, you know, the magic podcast, for example, like the three guys, Pig Cake, Lloyd and Craig, who have just been consuming so much of their content. Like, thank you so much, guys, for the content that you do. And it seems like, you know, there's an inner circle, not the magic circle, but an inner circle of magic that very few get access to. And I know, like, for example, I went to a magic convention, the first one up here in Newcastle. I bought the ticket to see Craig, and then Craig didn't end up turning up. But anyway, I went and I enjoyed it. But there was probably like 30 or 40 people there, and I sat by myself and didn't say anything. So I appreciate that I'm probably part of the problem here. But I really want to try and push myself here, like learn some magic, get to know some people. And I've really found it difficult to do that. Like, one of my other hobbies is photography, and that community, like you get access. There's loads of people, like people are always talking and hosting events and whatnot. Whereas magic has felt different, and it might not be that. Like I said, it could just be me. But I don't really know where to start. So I think creating this channel to sort of hold myself accountable, talk about some of the tricks that I buy, start performing some of the stuff, and I'm going to give it a go and talk about like my progress, and I really want to get to a place where I can go out and perform some tricks. And thank you so much again to the likes of Fred and Craig and Lloyd and all of these people who encourage new people to get into magic. But I do think there's some like problems there, like barriers to entry, that the community could do better at. Now, I don't necessarily have all the answers for that, but I would love to talk about like my experience and also just like be able to share some of this stuff. Like magic, especially for like a neurodivergent brain, is just like my brain just wants it and wants it and wants it. And I was like this with photography as well. I got obsessed, like learning all the settings, like it's like a science, and magic's the same. And my wife at the time was like complaining, "Oh my God, photography is such an expensive hobby to get into," and it was. And I'm like, so I'll pivot to magic. My God, it is just as expensive. Like, I am spending a fortune. I'm in a fortunate position now. I do have a good job, so I can afford some of this stuff. But what I really want out of magic is, I guess, the magic of connection. Like the trick is one thing, but connecting with people and showing some of this magic is, I guess, the thing that I'm craving, or just the community side of it. More people that geek out about and talk about magic. So this is a bit waffly now. I am waffling on, but hopefully, if you do decide to follow the channel or subscribe, I'm going to start posting more. And I think like one of the things that I found that is interesting, I follow a lot of magic review channels on YouTube, is like there's a lot of, it all seems like overly positive, and I would love to give some more honest reviews from a complete beginner's perspective about like how good I think tricks are. Or worth the money. Like, nobody ever talks about buyer's remorse with magic tricks, and I've had quite a few of them so far, and I appreciate it as well. And I've heard this talked about on the Slightly Twisted podcast, I think it is, the two guys who own the Twisted Magic and the Sleight, another great podcast. They're like, you're paying for the secret type of thing, and I appreciate that, but some of them are like absolute garbage, and I don't think they're talked about enough. So I might talk about some of that stuff as well. Anyway, I'm going to leave it where it is now, but I just hope that this video might get a little bit of engagement. People could give us some tips on where to find this community, like who to speak to. Does anybody want to have a jam sometimes? Like, I'm probably not going to be able to perform anything. I will, like I said, be shitting myself, but I would love to just sit in and talk to people and get to know them and help build that confidence. And I don't mind paying for like this community. Like I said, I paid for Lloyd's thing, and it is a good community, don't get us wrong, but it can be really quiet. And I think that might just be a byproduct of everybody's lives. Like, we're all adults, we've all got jobs and families and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here, but hopefully this wasn't too waffly, and I'll see you soon.